Namaskar, Abhishek, once again with this new episode in Unlocking Stars with Abhishek, a series on Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. So, in the last episode, Maharshi revealed the fascinating facts about the Adhana Lagna or Garbhadhan Lagna or Nishek Lagna. In the last episode, from verse number 25 to 30, he has provided technique and he put forwarded the conclusion also what we are going to do with this special type of lagna, Nishek lagna. I immersed in the Guru walk with you and try to understand what Maharshi is saying. Try to understand what is the technique he is prescribing. And we did that one. We extracted knowledge from the Mahaguru from verse number 25 to 30. But I promise you, in the last episode, I will do another addendum next episode for illustration of this beautiful mystical concept so that has to be cleared, very cleared in your mind. Although I will restrict myself in the boundary of Hora only, I will not cross the boundary of Hora and touch the Siddhant, the mathematical astrology, but we will go with the some sort of calculations as much as I think to understand this concept of Hora, that much calculation is required. So the subject, the agenda of this episode is the illustration of the Adhana Lagna, so that this concept must be beautifully fit in your mind. So before going into the real Guru walk, before going into the real discourse, I pray, Lord of the Lord, Mahadev, Jagat Guru, our Guru. जय शंभो विभो रुद्रा स्वयंभो जय शंकर जय ईश्वर जय साना जय जय सर्वज्ञ कामदम नीलकंठ जय श्रीद श्रीकंठ जय धूर्जटे अष्टमूर्तिर अनंत मूर्तिर महामूर्तिर जयानघ जय गुरुदेव हर हर महादेव. So today we are just recapturing, just seeing in this slide, these are the verses from 25 to 30 which we already dealt in last episode, described, commented on these verses, dive down in the verses of Guru walk, and we understand what is the purpose of this Nishek Samaya Gyan, Nishek Lagna, Adhana Lagna or Garbhadhan Lagna or prenatal Lagna. So what is the purpose, how it is calculated, and why it is calculated, we have dealt. Now we are in the illustration part. So we are in the illustration part. So we have derived a mathematical equation from this verse number 27 and 28. So Adhana Lagna if we have to calculate, then we have to find out first x. I'm saying that x is the sum total of three things. X is equal to a plus b plus c. So a is the difference between the longitude of Saturn and Gulick. And b is the difference between the mid cusp of ascendant and ninth house. And c is the moon longitude. That is only applicable if the Lagnes is in the Adrisyardha Chakra. If Lagnes is in the invisible half, from house number 1 to 6. If Lagnes is in the house number 7 to 12, we are not going to apply the C, moon longitude. So this is the very simple mathematical equation Maharshi has provided us through those verses. As I told you, it's a Hora, so I'm not going to touch the calculative part more, but just touching that much calculating part which is required to understand the concept of Hora. If Mahaguru bless me to do the Siddhant series, if he direct me to do the Siddhant series, then I will definitely follow the Guru Agya and do the Siddhant series, and I will crystal clear all the Siddhant concept for you. But here we are dealing with the Hora. So the objective of this calculation is to understand, is to find out if the delivery of the jeev is before 273 days or after 273 days from the Adhana. 273 days is basically 9 solar month or 10 lunar month. We are just considering one example from a data bank from one of the chart available with me. So I'm just picking those data which are required for this Adhana Lagna calculation here. So just picking up ascendant Bhav Madhya, ascendant cusp. So for this native, ascendant cusp is 182 degree 23 minute and 6 second. Picking up data for this native for 9th house cusp, so that is in our data bank 64 degree 3 minute and 13 second. Similarly, checking the data for the Saturn and the Gulick and the longitude of the Saturn and longitude of the Gulick, and for the longitude of the moon we have taken from the data bank. Now we have all the data available, and these data, the source of this data is the Janma Lagna. Then Maharshi said in the verse number 25 and 26, so Janma Lagna is the input. Janma Lagna is the starting point. From the Janma Lagna we are getting all these data. From that chart, from that natal chart we are getting the data, and we are going towards the prenatal chart. And then we are calculating. So first step is the difference Gurudev said about A. So what we are doing in A, Lagna Bhagyantaram. So the difference between the ascendant cusp and the 9th cusp. So we have value for the ascendant cusp and 9th cusp. Now we are doing the difference. This difference is very simple. When you follow the just difference subtraction process, so you will get this difference. Similarly, for the B, Gurudev directed us for the B, that is the difference between the longitude of Mandi and Mand, Gulick and Saturn. So that is also we are getting by following very simple subtraction process. So that is we have. Now the tricky part is, for C, moon longitude. I know in this example, for this ascendant, moon is in the Lagnes is in the Adrisya Chakrard. It is falling in the 6th house. That's why we will use moon longitude. We will add moon longitude. But here, trap is this. The moon longitude is 134 degrees 17 minutes 0 second. So 6th, we are going to subtract 120 to get this C. Otherwise, our value, when we add our value, if we will not correct our value here for this longitude, then our value will beyond the 360 degree, beyond the year. Now doing these things, we are getting X, A plus B plus C. So we got that one, 261 degree, 43 minute and 35 second. If we subtract this one from the date and birth date and time, then and we will cross check, we will understand whether delivery is before 273 degree or after 273 degree, and tell the questioner about the delivery time, date. But here we are more interested into the Adhana Lagna. So now Maharshi said in 28th verse, when we are getting this degree is your days. So 261 degrees, so 261 days. 43 minute become ghati. So 43 minute is 43 ghati. And 35 second become pal. So 35 pal. Now that I cannot say it's a trap, it's a precaution, it's not a trap. Here nothing. Guru is not putting trap, Guru is giving blessings. So this 273 degree, 273 days, the Gregorian days. And here what we got here, the value of X, the value of Adhana, this day is Savana day. And this Ghati and this Pal, we have already explained about this in last some episodes. So we have to apply correction factor to convert this Savana day, because Savana year is 360 days is 1 year. And we know the conversion of the Ghati and the hour. 1 hour is equal to 2.5 Ghati. And Pal, Bipal, that we know, we have already discussed. So we have to apply the correction factor, and we have to convert this to the Gregorian equivalent to align our prescribed, our predictive delivery date and time in line with the Gregorian calendar what we are using nowadays. So I'm just explaining the concept of Hora, so I'm stopping myself up to here. And I hope you understand when we derive this one, because I just want to decode what Maharshi is saying in the verses. So Maharshi said in the verses, from this degree, from this minute, and from this second, you will get the day, you will get the Ghati, you will get the Pal, that is the Adhana. So what Maharshi said, as far as Hora is concerned, I have explained here. If I drill down more, then I have to cross the boundary of the Hora and jump into the Siddhant, the mathematical astrology, which is not subject of this episode. When we do that one, then I promise you I will do in very much detail. We are focusing we are concentrating, we are following the line of Hora at the moment. So in the last verses 29 and 28, he said, we will use this Adhan Lagna for Subh and Asubh Kathan of the Jatak, of the Jeev, and the parents and all. So how we will do that one? I'm just putting some driver also, like inspired by the style of Maharshi. Although he has not prescribed as of now in these verses, but I'm also putting a driver so that you can understand how we will do the Subh and Asubh Kathan through this Adhana. And why Adhana is very important, Adhana Lagna is very important. Nishek Lagna, Garbhadhan Lagna, whatever name suits you, you can use prenatal ascendant. So Adhan Lagna Vichar, I'm just putting 3-4 drivers here so that you can understand the value, utility of this prenatal ascendant concept. So when the sun transit, the third sign from the moon occupied, from the sign occupied by moon in the Adhan Lagna chart, the child might born. That might be the timing. When the sun transit, the fifth or the ninth sign from the Adhan Lagna, that can be also happen. The birth can also happen in that case. If the birth happen at the ninth or fifth from the Adhan Lagna, it is a Subh Janam. So Subh Kathan, Subh Janam, prosperity. Prosperity to the family. So he is including parents also, Kutumbals, as well as the Jiva, as well as the Jatak. If the Adhan Lagna is a strong benefic, then child born will be long lived and prosperous. So I'm just putting these drivers because Maharshi is saying you have to utilize this Lagna for the Subh and Asubh Kathan of the Jeev and the Pitrit parents. That's why I just put these things so that you can understand now how to do this calculation and why do this calculation. So I hope now this verse number 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 dedicated to Nishek Lagna, very much clear to you. In the next verse, Maharshi will take us to the special type of ascendants. That's why he is dealing with the Nishek Lagna, special. It is also a special type of the concept. And he always on the driver's seat, he is always driving the Maitre to ask questions. So once Maitre heard about this special type of Lagna, then definitely Maitreys come up with the other questions and he will ask about the special type of Lagnas. And in the next chapter, Jnana Adhyay, some commentary is saying Vishesh Lagna Adhyay. I love to say Jnana Adhyay because he is revealing the knowledge. So I will say Jnana Adhyay. Maharshi will take us, Maharshi will reveal. So today we have completed chapter 4. Thank you for watching. And in the next episode, we will go along, we will go together to watch what Maharshi is saying in the next chapter, chapter 5, Jnana Adhyay. Thank you very much for watching. Now I will pray for you and pray for everybody and bow down to the Lord Shiva for any mistakes, because today we have completed very important chapter of Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, chapter number 4, Rasi Swarupa Adhyay. Om Karcharan Kritamba Kaya Jamba Karma Jamba Sravana Nayan Jamba मानसं वापराधं विहितं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणावधे श्री महादेव शंभो। जय जय करुणावधे श्री महादेव शंभो। जय जय करुणावधे श्री महादेव शंभो। ओम मृत्युंजय तत्सत नमः। जय गुरुदेव। हर हर महादेव।